For Tennessee's David Sander Jr., there's no definitive timeline for when he'll return to the team and when he'll be a full participant in practice and finally see some game reps. The freshman five-star right tackle has missed the first 3 games of the regular season due to an undisclosed injury. And what we learned today from Josh Heupel was how unique David Sander Jr.'s injury just might be. Heupel says it's not like an injured or sprained ankle, meaning that it's not a clear-cut injury, and also revealing that there's not a clear-cut recovery process for David Sander Jr. And I think partly that's why here Monday morning, Monday afternoon, there's no green light that David Sander Jr. has received to be ready to go for the game against UAB. But that doesn't mean he won't participate in that game. Josh Heupel revealed that it really is a day-to-day process for him. They really are relying on the medical staff to give their go-ahead. And if Sanders looks really good in practice today or throughout this week, then maybe he gets that green light. But a lot of it is how his body is healing. And because it's not like a sprained ankle, there's not really much information that Josh Heupel can give us at this moment. But what remains true is what you see here. It's David Sander Jr. on the sideline during the game against the Georgia Bulldogs, and it's the Tennessee defense that's on the field. But you could see in this moment how much of a teammate David Sander Jr. continues to be. And that was one of the main messages from Coach Heupel earlier today, with regardless of how badly it hurts the right tackle to not be out on the field for the hard work that he's put in throughout the summer. And if you've been listening up until this point, you know, with Lance Hurd and how much he's invested into David Sander Jr. and how they've grown together to be reliable on the offensive line for Tennessee, it hurts him badly that he's not able to be out there and to compete with his teammates, to compete with his brothers, but he continues to be a really good teammate. I mean, you could even see it after the game against Syracuse, him walking on the field after the game, looking a little downward as well, realizing that he wanted to be out there because it was a late notice when he was informed that he wasn't going to be clear to go in that game as well. So with Tennessee really trying to figure out who they have on this team that is healthy to go, continuing to have David Sanders Jr. a part of that injury list is a huge hurt for Tennessee, as you could probably look back to the game against Georgia and how much they need strong offensive line play to pick up the blitz, to be able to assess where the pressure is coming and where they need all of that support from their other skill positions, like in the running back room, like in the tight end room. So to have somebody like a David Sanders Jr. be ready to go here soon is a crucial part to Tennessee's success over there on offense. And the injuries kind of continue to pile up for Tennessee. Not much of an update whether on Ricky Gibson, Jermod McCoy, no definitive timeline for him and when he'll be back. Same thing with other players across the defensive line as well. So the injury continues to be a main talking point for Tennessee. As you see, it's contributing to a little bit of that lack of depth that we noticed against the Georgia Bulldogs, where by the third and fourth quarter, especially on defense, they ended up looking a little bit gassed by the end of that game. So getting guys healthy and continuing to build strength with the people that they have will be a huge part to Tennessee moving forward. Of course, our next opportunity is UAB, and I'm sure, you know, along with David Sanders Jr., a lot of people hope to see him out on the field to finally get those reps, as it's a tall task for David Sanders Jr. to have his first reps at right tackle as a Tennessee freshman to be in SEC play. But with how his recovery is going, it might end up just coming right back down to that. But if he continues to, you know, study in the film room like he has during, you know, summer practice, spring practice when he enrolled early, and how much that's really transformed his growth, he should be ready to go when he does get his opportunity because of how much back work and backlogged work he's put in up until this point. But certainly not the news you want to necessarily hear on Monday, and you hope by the end of the week he might get that green light and could be ready to go. I'll talk to you guys later this week with more coming up on this UAB match and how Tennessee's third down defense looks to improve itself moving forward. I'll talk to you guys then.